Okay, welcome to Electrical Machine 1 lecture. The topic which we are discussing is a transformer. So this is our lecture number 3. In the previous lecture, we discussed that a two-winding transformer, the construction of transformer, it is a core magnetic material. It is a laminated magnetic material. It has two winding. The winding which is connected to the source is called as a primary winding, and the winding which is connected to the load is the secondary winding. Now, in previous lecture, we come to know that the EMF equation or EMF induced, let here the number of turns is N1 and the number of turns is N2. So EMF induced E1 in the primary winding is minus N d phi by dt, where d phi by dt is the rate of change of flux linkages, because the applied source is alternating one, where applied voltage is, say, V is equal to V maximum sine omega t. Okay, so this is the here where we found that it is equal to minus N phi maximum omega into cos of omega t, because the flux phi, where phi is equal to phi maximum sine omega t. So now it can be written as N omega phi maximum into sine omega t minus pi by 2. This is the EMF induced in the primary winding E1. Similarly, the EMF induced E2 is equal to, here it is a N1. So the number of turns in E2 is N2 omega phi maximum into sine omega t minus pi by 2. For maximum value, E maximum 1, we can write as it is equal to sine omega t minus pi by 2 is equal to 1. So it is omega, it's twice pi f into N1 into phi maximum. Similarly, E2, E maximum 2 is equal to twice pi f N2 upon into phi maximum. Now, if you find the RMS value, RMS values, so E1, we can write E1 is equal to E maximum, because it is a sinusoidal waveform, E maximum 1 divided by root 2, which is equal to root 2 pi f N1 phi maximum. Similarly, E2 is equal to root 2 pi f N2 phi maximum. And say this is equation number 1 and equation number 2. From equation number 1 and 2, E1 upon E2 is equal to, it is, which is equal to, say, under root 2 pi f phi maximum. Or we can write as N E1 upon N1 is equal to, here E1 into E2, no doubt it is a, which is equal to N1 upon N2. So E1 upon E2, okay, we will write only this equation, E1 upon E2, E2 upon N1, N2 is equal to root 2 pi f phi maximum. So it is quite clear that the turns per volt, voltage per turns of primary is equal to voltage per turns of secondary is same. So these points already we have covered in the last lecture. Just it is a review, and it is very important from the for the next lecture, next topic which we are going to consider. Now, in this case, we have found some important conclusion. The important conclusion is that at no load condition, it draws an exciting current. And that exciting current is used to establish the working magnetic flux in the core. Now, to proceed the further, we here the assumptions are made. The first assumption is that the resistance in the winding, both the winding is 0. Second, whatever the flux created by the primary winding is confined with the intended path, means there is no leakage flux are there. Third point is that the permeability of magnetic material is constant. So it will give the constant relation between the magnetic flux and current. And fourth point is that the iron losses, that is the combination of eddy current and hysteresis loss in the magnetic material, is 0. But in practice, every winding has some resistance. There is some leakage magnetic flux. Definitely there is some saturation effect in the magnetic core, as well as eddy current and hysteresis losses are present in the magnetic material. So now what we'll do, we will connect a load on the transformer. So say this is the load which we have connected. A small load is connected to the secondary of the transformer. So here EMF induced is say E1, which is opposite to the supply voltage, and here is the EMF induced is E2. Okay, so we can represent this one in the case here. Say this is the no load or exciting current IE. It produces the EMF induced, which is lagging by 90 degrees. See here, this is the sine omega t minus pi by 2, whereas our supply voltage is V. This is V is equal to V maximum sine omega t. So omega t, and here it is omega t minus pi by 2. So definitely this is the EMF induced in the winding, primary winding as well as secondary winding, which is lagging by 90 degree, E1 and E2. So this is the flux phi, and the EMF induced, it is lagging by 90 degree. So this is the case under no load condition. Now, as soon as the load is connected on the secondary, it draws some current as per the load. Okay, say the current is I2. As soon as it draws the current, it produces MMF, it is a MMF. Say the MMF F2 is equal to N2 into I2. Because of this magnetic MMF, number of turns multiplied by current in the secondary winding, it produces the magnetic flux, which is opposite to the flux created by the primary winding. Okay. Now, to maintain the constant flux, and here the voltage is constant, so it draws a more current from the supply. Say now the current I1 dash. This I1 dash, it produces the MMF F1, which is equal to N1 into I1 dash. So under such condition, again, there is an increase in magnetic flux, but the total flux, these two fluxes are opposite to each other, and the remaining flux is a flux which is created by the no load condition. So one more important conclusion is that the flux in the core remains constant, and that constant magnetic flux is the flux which is produced by no load current. Flux produced by only no load exciting current. Okay, so here the flux is constant and this one. Now under such condition, let the load is lagging one. Under such condition, the current is, say there is a lagging current is there, and it is current is I2, and it produces the magnetic ampere turns or MMF, say F2. To counterbalance this one, this current is a current I1 in the primary side. It is a I1 dash, which is the combination of, it is say the current is I1 dash, and here this is the combination. It is a additional, this current is I1. So this current is I1. No doubt it is the combination or it is the vector addition of IE, the magnetizing current, as well as current drawn because of the reflective current in the current which is reflected due to the load current in the secondary winding, where the MMF are balanced. So here the MMF of the primary winding. So next is the MMF of primary winding is counterbalanced by MMF of secondary winding. Okay, MMF of secondary winding. So it can be written as, so here we'll write only the primary current is I1, N1 is equal to I2, N2, where I1 is the combination of I1 dash plus IE. Basically, the exciting current is very small as compared to the current drawn by the primary winding. So the total current we can neglect the value of IE as compared to the load current. So this is the now. Now we can say that it is a N1 upon N2. N1 upon N2 is equal to N1 upon N2 is equal to, it will be I2 upon I1. Say equation number 4. Now equation number 3, we have equation number 3. What is equation number 3 here? This is our equation number 3. From this equation number 3, we can write as N1 upon N2 is equal to E2 upon E1. Okay, E1 upon E2. Now so look at this equation number 3. Say this is equation number 3. Okay, same equation, just we have arranged. From equation number 3 and equation number 4, this relation we can say that we can write as N1 E1 upon E2 is equal to I2 upon I1 is equal to N1 upon N2. Say this equation number 5. So from this equation, if you replace this E1 and E2 by its terminal voltage, we can write as V1 upon V2 is equal to I2 upon I1 is equal to N1 upon N2. Or we can write as V1 I1 is equal to V2 I2. So what is V1 I1? It is the volt ampere. It means that volt ampere rating of primary is equal to volt ampere rating of secondary winding. So just if you multiplied by the K, that is the, or divided by 1000. So divide by divide by 1000. So therefore it is a kVA rating. kVA rating of primary is equal to kVA rating of secondary. So the next conclusion is that the kVA rating of primary winding and kVA rating of the secondary winding is same. So if suppose it is given that it is a 5 kVA transformer, 2 winding transformer, it means that the rating of primary winding is 5 kVA and rating of secondary winding also the 5 kVA. So this is one more important conclusion and important relation we found. It is that kVA rating. So the important equation become V1 upon V2 is equal to I2 upon I1 is equal to N1 upon N2. Number of turns will decide which will be the higher voltage side, which will be the lower voltage side. Higher the number of turns, higher will be the voltage, lower will the voltage, lower will the number of turns, lower will the voltage of the windings. Okay, so this is the case which the points we have considered. We have come to know that this is the relation of the three points. One is that voltage per turns for each primary winding and secondary winding is same. Second, the flux in the core remain constant irrespective of the load condition. Either the load increases or decreases, that flux will remain same, because the MMF produced by secondary winding and MMF produced by the primary winding under load condition, they are opposite and equal in magnitude. So they will cancel out, and only the flux which is remaining is the flux which is created by the no load current. So it is a very important knowledge we get, and because it is going to use in the calculation of losses in the transformer. Okay. Second point is that the primary volt ampere rating and secondary volt ampere rating is same, or you can say that the kVA rating of the primary winding and kVA rating of the secondary winding is same. Okay. Now we will consider the practical case. What is the practical case? As in our previous lecture, we come to know that we assume that our assumptions is that, what is assumption? Number one assumption is resistance of winding are 0. Okay, but practically there is some resistance in the winding. Second, we assume that the flux follow intended path. It means that there is a no leakage flux. Third point is the no iron losses. No iron losses are there. But in the practical case, winding resistance are there. Fluxes has some leakage value, that is the leakage fluxes are there, and iron losses also be there. So because of the iron losses and because of the hysteresis effect, we will consider one by one. We will consider now there is a resistance in the winding. Okay, so when there is a resistance in the winding, we can represent and the fluxes are the, there is a leakage, so there is some leakage reactances are there. So our transformer can be represented as so the transformer having transformer has resistance. So winding will having resistance, some resistance in the primary side. Because of the leakage flux, there is a leakage reactance. So this is the leakage reactance in the primary side. Similar case on the secondary side. So let the resistance is R1, reactance is X1, and voltage applied is V1. EMF induced is E1, which is opposite to the, say, supply voltage. Similarly, the EMF induced in the secondary winding is E2. E2. There is some resistance and leakage reactance are there. So this is the practical case. So X R1, R2, and X2 is this one. Now we will try to develop the phasor diagram under loaded condition as well as no load condition. Okay. Under no load condition, when there is a iron losses, there is a hysteresis effect, and because of hysteresis effect, the current is not in phase with the flux. Say this is the flux phi. So there is a small angle, and this is the value of no load current or exciting current. This exciting current has two components. One component in phase with the current. Say this angle is no load power factor angle theta 0. This angle is angle alpha. It is because of the hysteresis effect. So this component, the component which is in phase with the flux, it is I mu, or it is the flux, it is the component which is responsible to produce the magnetic flux in the core. And second component, which is in phase with the voltage V1, is the IW, or it is the working or core loss component IW. It may be written as a IC and it may be written as a IW and I0. So there may be some different notations are there. Okay. Now, under load condition, the current drawn by load, say this is the load is there. It is a, for example, it is a lagging load is there. So current is lagging and there it will have some voltage also lagging. There is a difference. Say this is the voltage V2, voltage across load is a V2. So definitely the voltage across V2 is smaller than the EMF induced in E2. So because some losses are there, some voltage drop across the resistance and reactance. So there is a resistive drop which is in phase with the current. So the current, the current is I2. Current is I2, which is lagging at angle of theta 2. It's a I2. Okay. Now the current is referred in the primary side. It is the I2 dash, and the addition of I2 and no load exciting current is the total current drawn by primary winding is I1. Okay. So now in phase with the current, there is a resistive drop I2, R2, and reactive drop, it is in phase quadrature. So it is the I2, X2. Okay. So now this is the voltage E2. So this is the voltage is E2 and V2 is smaller. So we can write as equation E2 is equal to V2 plus I2 into bracket R2 plus J X2. Okay. So this is the, here it is a higher voltage side and terminal voltage is smaller, slightly smaller because some resistive drop and reactive drop across the winding. Okay. Similarly, there is a current I1. So here it is a I1. So small resistance I1, R1 drop, and there is a reactive drop I2 I1 X1 drop, and this is total is the voltage applied to the, this is V. Okay, so we can write as this is the value of E1. So we can write here E1 is equal to V1 minus, it is I1 into bracket R1 plus J X1, or supply voltage is greater here. Some voltage drop across the resistance and reactance of the primary winding. V1 is equal to E1 plus I1 into bracket R1 plus J X1. So this is the say practical transformer. In the practical transformer, we considered there is a resistance and the flux is not confined. All the flux which is created by the primary winding, no doubt it is linking with the secondary winding, but part of the flux, part is very small percentage of the flux, they are linking there itself, which will call as a leakage flux or short circuited path. It will follow the short circuited path, and this leakage flux will create the leakage reactance in the transformer. So every time we are not able to draw such a figure, all this one, so we can represent this above diagram as we can represent is like that. This is the primary winding. One by one, we will going to reduce the circuit. But for understanding purpose, this is the primary resistance, primary reactance, and represent the winding, number of turns in the primary winding. Okay. Here it is the resistance R1, X1, number of turns is N1, EMF induced is E1, which is opposite to the supply voltage, and this is V1, and current flowing in the primary winding is I1. Now, the core is represented. This is the core represented. Now here the number of turns in the secondary winding. Again, there is a resistance drop, resistance, reactance, and here is the voltage, is a V2. Okay, so here is the voltage induced in the secondary winding is E2, current is I2, resistance R2, reactance X2. So this is the representation of two winding transformer where resistance also considered, leakage flux also considered, and one more thing, that is the hysteresis loss. Iron has two types of losses. One is the hysteresis loss, second is the eddy current loss. Eddy current loss is reduced by using laminated core, whereas hysteresis loss can be reduced by proper grade of or high permeability magnetic material. Even though it has some hysteresis and eddy current loss, and because of hysteresis effect, what is the hysteresis effect? It is simple to consider by a BH curve. In the BH curve, say this is the magnetic field strength H, which is represented by mmf per meter. And this is the maximum flux density. It's the maximum. If you increase the mmf or if you increase the current, the flux also get increases. At somewhere it becomes saturated. Okay. Now, if you reduce the current, the flux does not follow the same path, but it will follow the different path. And even though the flux, the current is zero or magnetic field strength is zero, there is some residual magnetism. And if you want to reduce it to the zero value, it is to the zero value. So again, you have to move mmf in opposite direction or current to be in opposite direction. So here it becomes zero, whereas it required some mmf or some mmf or current in the to make it reversal of the magnetic flux. So such type of curve is called as a hysteresis curve of magnetic material. Higher the hysteresis effect, higher will be the iron losses. That is a hysteresis loss. Small will be the smaller will be the say thinner will be the hysteresis loop, and it will indicate there is a small losses or smaller losses in the magnetic material. So here we have considered the practical transformer. In the practical transformer, iron losses are considered. Winding has some resistance. Fluxes are not confined. All the fluxes are not confined to the intended path, whereas some of the fluxes are the leakage flux. And this exciting current IE is equal to, it has two components. One is the active component, which is responsible to supply the iron losses, and I mu. Okay, so IE is equal to IW square plus I mu square under. Yes, or we can write as, suppose this is the angle theta, this angle is theta. So we can write as I mu is equal to IE into cos of theta 0, no load power factor angle. Similarly, I mu is equal to this component. I mu, this component is equal to IE sine theta 0. Sometimes this exciting current may be written as IW is equal to I0, no load current, into cos of theta 0, and I mu, it is the exciting current, I0 sine theta 0, where theta 0 represent the no load power factor angle. So if you just recall these points, the points which we have considered or the highlights of the lecture is, first point is that we come to know the equation, very important equation is V1 upon V2 is equal to N1 upon N2 is equal to I2 upon I1. And from this one, V1 I1 is equal to V2 I2, or KVA of primary winding is equal to KVA of secondary winding. This is important point which we have considered. Come to the conclusion. Second conclusion is that the flux is constant. Flux is constant irrespective of load condition, whatever may be the load, because the load MMF and the secondary MMF and primary MMF, they are opposite and equal in magnitude and opposite to each other. So the flux which is created by the no load current, the flux created by the I mu is remain constant. Third point, in practical case, the winding has some resistance, iron losses are there, and all the fluxes are not confined to the intended path or the magnetic path. There is some leakage magnetic flux are there. Hence, there is a leakage resistance, leakage reactance in the primary winding as well as in secondary winding. And the most important thing is that there is a resistance in the primary winding and resistance in the secondary winding. And because of this one, the equation, voltage equation of primary and secondary is, voltage of the secondary equation is E2 is equal to V2 plus I2 into bracket R2 plus JX2, and V1 is equal to E1 plus I1 into bracket R1 plus JX1. And this is the phasor diagram under loaded condition, under lagging power factor. This is the I2 current is lagging. It is the E1 and E2 both are in the 90-degree lagging, whereas the magnitude of E1 and E2, it is opposite, it is depend upon the number of turns. Okay, so it is a -1. So here the voltage V1 is directly proportional to N1 and voltage V2 is directly proportional to N2. More the number of turns, more will the voltage, less will be the number of turns, less will be the voltage. For example, the number of turns in the primary winding, N1 is equal to 100 and N2 is equal to 300. Let the voltage applied is 100 volt, V1 is equal to 100 volt. What would be the voltage in the secondary side. So it is quite clear V1 upon N1, or you can simply write as V1 upon V2 is equal to N1 upon N2. So here V2 we want to calculate. V2 is equal to V1 multiplied by N2 upon N1. So V1 is 100 volt multiplied by 300 divided by 100 turns. This is the number of turns, and therefore we get the 300. Okay. So under such condition, any type, either primary voltage or either secondary voltage can be determined. So now today we'll stop here for the lecture number 3. In the lecture number 4, it is going to discuss the referred values of the primary winding resistance and reactance. Similarly, referred values of secondary winding resistance and reactance value.